Alright, hello everyone, this is Xcom Frenchy, and today I'm doing an actual review of Xcom Enemy Unknown, which, as you probably know, is meant to be a spiritual successor to the original Xcom UFO Defense, aka what was the name? UFO Enemy Unknown, I think. So the original game was, turn-based strategy. So this one, well, it's pretty much turn-based strategy as well. So basically the plot is that Earth is being invaded by alien, and the different government of Earth have created the Xcom project to deal with a threat. And you command the Xcom project, and you must give orders to your troops, build your base, research new tech, and protect all the members, all the major country that funds the Xcom project. So this game really is meant to be a spiritual successor of the original, and it's been quite highly rated by the critics and reviewers. So while I would agree it's definitely a fairly good game, I think objectively it's quite inferior to the original gameplay wise, because simply put, you have really a lot of options that have been removed. One of the main features of the first Xcom is that you could destroy the environment to help with flanking the enemy, and making new ways by, like, for example, shooting your gun into a wall, or you shoot a car preemptively to make it explode before you take cover behind it. But now you can no longer do that. You can only target the enemies, and destruction possibilities are also been quite simplified. You can only do it with grenades and rockets. Another thing is that the original had an inventory system that allowed you to really give several objects to one soldier, so he could, depending on his strength, he could do more than just shoot. You could give them several grenades, or a med pack and a stun rod, etc. This has been removed as well. The inventory is really reduced to a very simple, to a very simplistic system that only allows you to carry one item without a certain class can carry 2 items, but that's it. And yes, that brings me to an addition of the game, the class system. A soldier that gets its first promotion will automatically be assigned a specific classes. You cannot choose it, it's random. And then he has an ability tree, although it looks much more like a ladder. But really, a lot of the abilities you get are things that the rookies could do in the original XCOM, like firing twice per turn. You can no longer do that in the by default in this new game, XCOM Enemy Unknown, because they've replaced the turn unit system with action points, and everyone gets 2 action points per turn. What's also been removed is the fog of war and line of sight, really, well, not technically removed, but really reduced to its simplest expression. So while in the original it was really probably the biggest, the best chance for your soldiers to not get hit was to hide and make sure they weren't seen. In this one you need to take cover, but you know that the enemy will most likely see you. On the now about the aliens, a good idea was to give them some abilities that they didn't have in the original. So that's a good point for the game. Like sectoids can buff each other, Thin Man can poison you, etc. But at the same time, the artificial intelligence is not that great. I've seen on several occasions the enemies stand by cars that were about to explode. So really, it's not terrible, but it's not impressive. And should also note that the way the encounters works is a bit different as well. When you start a mission, by default the aliens are inactive. They cannot, so they won't attack you until you discover them. They won't be, waiting for you in ambush. So if you haven't encountered a group of aliens yet, this group can never harm you in the turn when you discover them. And at the same time, if you discover them during your turn, they get a free movement to reposition, and that can be really annoying. It's not, I don't think it's a good mechanic. Graphic-wise, the game looks pretty alright. If you don't mind the soldiers looking a bit like the Gears of War. Music is good without being, something you remember for a while. But it gets the job done. It's pretty good in its own right. Another thing I forgot to mention is that, what was it? Well, the squad size are much smaller. In the original it was at least 12, now it's 6 maximum. And yeah, something I didn't mention. The new inventory system means that if a guy carrying a medpack is incapacitated and need to be revived with a medpack, you cannot pick up the medpack from him and use it to heal him. So there are a lot of limitations like that that are really annoying compared to the original. Now granted, the original was a bit slow to play because of all these parameters, but in this new one there are a lot of action that you'd expect to be able to do that you cannot do. So yeah, all in all, it's really faster paced XCOM that has less depth than its predecessor. A lot of Several times you will have maps that are a bit like a Call of Duty level, which I say that without wanting to be offensive, just that it's really one big corridor with little option for you to decide how you want to progress. And what I think, so it's faster paced, not as deep. It's probably oversimplified for fans of the original, or those who really did not want a dumbed down experience. But for person that wants to try the turn-based tactics or strategy, it can be a pretty good introduction to the genre. So I'm not sure there's a need for a mark in review. I think you either fall in one category or the other. Either you want something like deeper, or you don't mind it. But if I were to give it a mark, I'd give it like 7 or 7.5. But it's about what you want. It's not a game I'll be playing anymore. I think I find it a bit too shallow, but no, it's up to you. Right, thanks for listening. See you next time, guys.